received various reports about 3 men surviving being tossed into a fiery furnace.
Many of the stories we received seem to be conflicting, so we've decided to go out into the field and get some eyewitness testimonies.
We caught up with Mr. Deanne and Mr. Loney, the skeptics, King Chad and his advisors, the faithful servant Daniel, and the men of the hour, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
I think after these interviews, we'll have a better idea of what happened at that fiery furnace today.
So, stay tuned!
So tell me, what did you see? The whole thing's a hoax. I heard the furnace wasn't even on.
Yeah, people are always spinning tales to fit their agenda. I don't believe a word they're saying.
You know, I'm still confused about the whole thing, but what I do know is that 3 of my top advisors wouldn't worship me, so I had to put them in their place.
I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. Yeah, me too.
Gotta be honest, I wasn't actually there, but I personally know God and these 3 men, and I can attest to their character.
So, tell me what happened.
When we heard the decree about worshiping King Chad, we knew we had to stand our ground. Exactly. We knew whatever was going to happen, that God is in control.
Even if God didn't save us, he has a plan that's bigger than any of us, and better too. In your own words, how did these 3 men survive?
I already told you the furnace wasn't on. Don't you know no one dies in a cold furnace?
It's all an illusion. They don't even worship the right gods. In fact, they only worship one.
You know, I'm still trying to understand it for myself. All I know is that my soldiers threw those men into the fire after I commanded them to turn up the heat. The soldiers died, but the men didn't.
I swear I saw a 4th person with them. Yeah, but only 3 went in and 3 went out.
Knowing our God, he can do things beyond all human understanding.
So tell me, in your own words, how did you survive?
I've never experienced such nearness to death, yet an overwhelming sense of peace. It's a peace that can only come from God.
Excuse me. Weren't y'all thrown in the fire, the furnace? What are you still doing here? Is it true? You're alive? What? How did this happen?
Excuse me, ma'am. We're in the middle of a very important interview.
Okay, well, it was a pleasure to meet you all. Have a blessed day. You too, thanks.
So, what were you saying? It was as if our God was standing in the fire with us. Only he could have saved us.
So now what? Where do you go from here? Back to life as usual. I've been worshiping many gods and kings for generations. It never did me any harm.
Yeah, you've wasted enough of my time with these ridiculous questions.
I think I'm finally starting to understand. It's as if my eyes have been opened to the truth. I therefore decree that any people, nation, or language that speaks against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be punished, for no other God can save like he can.
Yeah.
Our God has prevailed once again, so I will continue to praise and worship the only one who is worthy.
So now what? Where do you go from here?
Our God rescued us from a fiery furnace, and I believe he can do it again. Even if he doesn't, he is still good, and we will continue to worship him.
God's plan is always greater than our own. We can rely on that truth.
You heard it here, folks. A miracle has taken place.
There's only one God who can save, and he asks us to faithfully follow him.
We will face many trials, and God has the power to change our circumstances or use us where we are. We only have to submit ourselves to him and trust his will. This is Mary
And McKenna.
This is CRTV News, signing off. Good night.